everybody. Come and take a seat wherever you choose. Take a seat anywhere. Do sit down. Well, hello everyone. This is the nice bit of the day. You remember, I hope, that about 2 months ago, when you first became involved in this project, that you were shown a picture which you studied for about a minute. And you were then asked to give your verbal impressions of that picture, which we videotaped and recorded and transcribed, and which I have here. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to do a little memory test, but this is a rather different memory test than the ones you've been used to so far, because it's going to involve you doing some painting. So what we'd like you to do is, using your memory, recall that picture that you saw and reproduce it. It was a very colourful picture, and we'd like you to get the colours in, we'd like you to make it look as much like you remember it. And you've been given a set of black, yellow, blue, purple, pink and green paints to work with. I'm going to give you 5 minutes to do the best you can. When you've finished, we will then look at the original painting that you saw all those weeks ago, and I will come round and have a chat to you about how faithfully your piece of artwork reproduces the painting. Okay, let's concentrate. Try and recall that painting. We're going to start now. Okay, everybody, can you please stop painting? We're going to consider what the original painting looked like, and then I'm going to come around and speak to each one of you individually. We'll have a look at your painting, and I'm going to remind you of what you said the original painting looked like 2 months ago. And what I'm quite interested in is whether the verbal label you gave to the painting when you originally saw it has influenced what you've reproduced here today after this long period of retention. So let's have a look and see how you do it. There we go. Some people did remarkably well, some people had unusual reproductions. Let's start with Simon. The painting reminded you of a religious symbol, like an archangel, or the symbol that you see for a nuclear, or a one-eyed purple monster. So what does your reproduction correspond to?
One-eyed purple monster.
The one-eyed purple monster, I think, has won the day there, hasn't it?
Definitely, yeah.
And that perhaps shows the power of verbally labelling something, because later on, did you recall the verbal label? Did you recall you said?
I can remember saying it. I can remember the bit about the angel. I can remember the nuclear thing, and I can remember the purple monster.
All right. So remembering those verbal statements led you to this fine piece of modern artwork here.
Yeah.
I think you've done exceptionally well.
Thank you.
Chrissy, interesting reproduction. I'm just finding what you said, and this is so interesting because you said that this picture, when you originally saw it 2 months ago, reminded you of what? Can you remember?
Yes, it was a non-mechanical fan.
An extractor fan. I mean, it's driven by the wind.
That's right, yeah.
And your reproduction is, I think, rather more like a fan than the original.
Yes, it's nothing like the original, is it?
And it's also worth noting something else, and you all might want to notice this. There is no pink colour in the original. So we tried to mislead you a bit by putting out a colour that hadn't been in the original to see whether it was used. And I see Simon and Chrissy have both used it. Let's come to Edward. Can I remind you, Edward, of what you said?
Sounded like a bicycle wheel.
Yeah, a bicycle wheel.
That's what's on the spokes.
Indeed. And you bear some similarity to the original. However, it is rather more like a bicycle wheel, isn't it?
Exactly, that's what I remembered you say. I thought, well, I'll draw a bicycle wheel, and I just put the shapes on the spokes, but I couldn't remember where the shapes went.
For you, remembering the verbal label very much influenced what you reproduce now from memory. Very interesting. But you didn't use any pink, I don't think, did you? Or was that pink?
No pink.
So you didn't get that as wrong as Chrissy and Simon.
No, I didn't use any pink.
Thank you very much, everybody. It's always a challenge to do these bits of artwork publicly. I know I'd be terrible at doing it and terrified. But I think the point we wanted to get across, and that is that the way one verbally labels a visual display can have a profound influence on how we later recall it some months later. And I think that perhaps shows you how memory is really about capturing meanings and the gist of meanings, and then when they're remembered, they're the things that drive our behaviour based on memory. So thank you all very much. I hope you all get them framed and hang them up in your toilets at home.